been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Everything Goes podcast with your host, Tyler, Chris Klein, and Aaron Ace, that we like to call on the podcast, where the Yankees got swept, where the fans are crying for a change. Is Brian Cashman gone? Is Aaron Boone going to be gone? Yes, Ace, bring the tears. Harper's home run powers the Phillies into the World. I'm honestly good for them. Good for them. Good for them. Is Brady regretting his retirement as the NFC is in a dumpster fire? Danny Dimes leads the Giants to a 6-1 record right there.
That ending was crazy.
And what is going on in Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers is just becoming another meme as he lays on the ground crying? Guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, two things. First of all, you don't ever give out our full names on the air because you don't know who's listening. Yeah. You don't know who's looking for us.
Yeah. What do they do on radio shows? Our names are literally on Twitter, on Instagram. We're all over the place.
Then you need to call me something else, Sancho or something.
Hey,
not his.
I didn't even say Ace's last name. All right. I didn't even say my last name. I only said your last name. So you're in trouble.
Yeah. And another take is Tom Brady's not worried about shit. He's in first place in a bad division. What does he care?
I think he cares a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time he's had a losing record since 2002.
Yeah. I was to say it was early 2000s. I think I saw the stat for.
Well, and even before this, before we started, you said they're going to have the division winner's going to have a losing record, just like 2 years ago?
That's not true. Let's get that one out of your mouth and into the trash can. All right. That's a fair take. Who's to say one of these teams doesn't go off for a run? You know what I mean? Saints are only 2-5. They could easily become 10-5 like that.
Yeah.
Look, before we went on the air, we had this whole debate that they need to get rid of all these divisions, just have two conferences, because it's going to happen. You're gonna get somebody that's gonna go 8-9, that's gonna get home field, and you're gonna get a team that has 12 wins. Right now, your wild cards are the Giants, who are 6-1, and the Cowboys, who are 5-2, and the Rams, who are 3-3. You're gonna have two teams with a way over 500 record that are gonna have to go on the road.
Just happens,
and aren't gonna get a home game. I'm just saying they need to fix that. They need to fix that.
I think you also need to realize sometimes home field advantage doesn't even matter. If you saw the past couple playoffs, you know what I mean? I just don't think they'll ever get rid of the whole division thing, because I think it gives teams opportunities to still fight in the game. I don't think it's ever going to be changed.
What do you mean not fight? I mean, you're still going to fight. You're going to fight for a playoff spot. Just rank them like college football.
I guess you could make it that even if you still win the division at a crappy record, you do get a playoff spot, but you don't necessarily get a home spot. Or they can make it.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, I would agree with that, where like each division is based off record. Best record gets, certain seeding pretty much.
Yeah.
Rather than division winner. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I mean, it hasn't happened to the Cowboys, but I'm just saying it's not going to be right that you're a fan base, you have a winning record, you dominated, just unfortunately because of the wild card setup. You don't get a home game. That's horrible. You're gonna have to go on the road for the whole playoffs unless one of the top seeds get eliminated.
They should do that for baseball too. Then
I agree.
I think it gives the NFL world a little excitement though. Cause say like back when it was like the 7-9 Saints, like all right, like will the 7-9 Saints beat this 10 and whatever team? Will they be able to pull that off? You know what I mean? Like. I don't know. I just think it is what it is. I'm not going to get hung up over it. Gives my team hope. Gives my team hope.
Gives your team hope.
I want a home field advantage. I want a home field advantage.
You're only one game out of first place. So, I mean, you have a lot of hope.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 2-5 or whatever you are, and you're only one game out of first.
Yeah, don't act like you had to look at a stat sheet to know we're 2-5. Like we're 2-5.
I'm just saying. Here's another stat too. The NFL is in trouble because their whole excitement is the passing game. Right now, there's 14 teams. Right now, they're averaging only one touchdown pass a game. That's the highest it's ever been. Wow. So the last couple of years, they've only had like 3 or 4 teams that have only had average one touchdown pass. Right now, they're up to 14 teams right now. Yes. It's difficult to score. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
I think we talked about that last week, touchdowns.
I would say that this year for the NFL has been a pretty low expectation. I feel like we had high expectations for this year. And I feel like when you look at a lot of the league, there's not a lot of like teams that are like, because like especially the teams that we picked to be good, there's a lot of like teams that are like, wow, I didn't think that team would be that. I mean, you think about it. Besides, if you take away the NFC East, there's a lot of teams that are like in the middle of the pack. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of teams breaking away.
It's really what it is it's a week by week league. You know,
it's kind of exciting though.
It is. You're absolutely right. I mean, you look at Green Bay, for instance. I mean, their last 3 years they were 13 and what I have it written down somewhere. They were
they
13
won like
13.
12.
They were 13-3, 13-3, 13-4, and this year they're 3-4. Their last 3 losses are to the Giants, the Jets, and the Commanders.
The Jets 5-2. 5-2. I know they just beat a bad Broncos team, but hey, we're talking about hope. I think like what you just said, you know, like with how close everything is, like week to week, like I feel like that gives every fan hope. I mean, you're seeing Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and they're like floating around like 3-4 or something, right? If I'm a team that's sucking right now, I'm like, all right, like Tom Brady's struggling a little bit. That gives my team a little hope. Like, all right, we're still in this fight. Like, we're not the only one that looks bad. Everyone's looking bad. You know what I mean?
There's some really good defenses.
Yeah, good defenses.
No, Ace, go ahead. Ace, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think what they're doing with Wilson is not asking for a lot. And so the Packers, or when they face Bill Belichick, who can outcoach them, because Packers, you have the best quarterback and your 2 best weapons are in the backfield. Get them touches no matter how. And that's what my friends are saying. That's what the green and gold are saying right now. It's just brutal.
And the Patriots might have a quarterback controversy on their hands too.
No way.
That's the thing. No one's getting paid yet, so why not? That guy's 2-0.
You know what's nuts? The current win streaks in football right now, you would probably never guess these teams. I mean, right now, the Eagles have 6 wins. The Giants have 4. The Jets have 4. The Titans have 4. No one's talking about the Titans. They're silently starting to put it together.
Their defense is top ranked right now.
And the Vikings have 4. Now the thing about the Vikings is 4 of their wins are by 8 points or less.
Hey, so the Vikings play this week?
See, we lost those games last year, though.
You guys had a bye this week?
Yeah, so we play Cardinals. So coming off the Saints Thursday nighter, they got a little bit more time to rest. Yeah, but you know what Kyler's doing.
You get Big D soon. Big D's coming there soon.
Is it the first week? So it's like in 2 weeks?
3 weeks. I think we play Chicago. We have a bye, and then we play you guys, and then we play Green Bay right after that.
Oh, wow.
So we could help you. Could beat you, and then we could help you.
Please. I'll admit, I think your defense is better than ours. We started off.
I was going to say, I know we were going to talk about baseball first. Might as well just stay in football because we're already neck deep into it. Dak Prescott gets his first start of the year. How you feeling about it? Because in my opinion, I didn't watch the full game. It looked like he played pretty slow for Detroit's defense has been giving up an average of 30 or more points a game. Y'all didn't score really until the fourth quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not bashing.
You gotta understand something.
First game back.
I check you on Twitter all the time.
He had a 136 passer rating. He had 100. He had a 136 passer rating, and as in the second half, he was 10 of 11, and then he had a 113 passer rating for the game. He was 3rd for efficiency for the week behind Joe Burrow and Mahomes. He had a great game. The problem is Dallas, who was the number 1 offense last year, they're calling a different style of game. We're pounding the ball up the gut and running the ball. Our thing now is we're okay with field position. Our defense is only giving up I think it's 14 points a game now total. We're the second best as far as defense goes. So who cares if we got a punt? It drives me absolutely nuts. This team averaged 30 points a game last year. We were freaking amazing. Number 1 offense in the league. And now look what we're doing. We're just running it. It is what it is. It's Kellen Moore's way now.
I don't think you said one bad thing about Dak on Twitter. There was a lot toward Kellen, though, I saw.
But, the thing that aggravates me about Dak is, and I don't know if we lost Ty or not. I don't see him anymore. No,
he's here.
The thing that I hate about Dak is he holds the ball too long. That's the problem with Dak. And we just talked about this. Teams are struggling to score. Defenses are getting faster. You're good quarterbacks. Tom Brady, get rid of the ball in 2 seconds or less. He's just quick, boom, boom, boom. And if you look at all these teams, and I just heard this on the way home, all these teams, Buffalo, the Eagles, who else? Kansas City. What's the one
Giants.
thing they have? The Giants?
Good
What's the one
coaching.
thing they have that? No, it's not good coaching. The
Good
thing is, they have
defense,
a
too.
mobile quarterback. They have a
Oh,
quarterback that
yeah.
gets out of the pocket, extends plays, and that's what makes them look good.
I would say good coaching, too.
No, the Cowboys have good coaching. I mean, they're 5-2. They won 4 games.
I'm
with
saying
a
I'd
backup
agree.
quarterback.
I would say that, like, if you look at some of these top teams, the Giants, man, that's a very similar thing to Cincinnati. You know what I mean? The whole flip. I mean, I know it's not like Cincinnati had the same coach, but that coach has to get all the credit. I know the players play the game, but I mean, what have the Giants done the past 5 years? And for him to come in where everybody was dissing on Danny Dimes, saying this is not our quarterback, all he does is fumble, all he does is trip and fall. They're 6-1. He's averaging like 50 yards, rushing yards a game. Like,
dude, he has 5 come from behind wins. 5 game winning drives this
Really?
season. Nobody more in the NFL has more than 3. You know, Christian Kirk, man, he turns and puts that ball over the line. They win that game.
Who's got
I mean,
a
they
more
get
talented?
that was a good stop. That was a good
Oh,
stop, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying in the lead-in. That ending was insane.
Yeah, I don't get
got
the
a better?
Jags.
Who's got a better offensive weapons, the Packers or them?
Giants.
Right.
I would say that.
Healthy?
I
Are
would
we
say
saying like if healthy? Or
Name
like
one.
now?
Name one good receiver that's on Green Bay. I mean, the Giants have
Yeah.
the Galladay. They have Sterling Shepard. I mean, they have good receivers.
yeah, Sterling Shepard Jr. Galladay's not really getting as much snaps as you want, but they have some good young guys. Like Slayton's playing very well, and he was a big name
Yeah,
on the trade
yeah.
block for a while.
They were
I think
gonna
that the
trade
Packers have
Galladay.
some young guys that are playing well, though. I just haven't watched some Packers games to give them credit.
Yeah, Cobb's hurt too.
Man,
It's
you look at some of these standings though, man. Like we were just talking about this in the beginning. Like, there's a lot of like nobody's out of this yet. Like, I feel like this deep into like we're not even that deep into a season, but usually like, all right, that team's done. But I mean, like NFC South that we talked about, Saints are in last place, they're 1 game out of first. The NFC West, 4-3 is Seahawks. Everybody else 1 game out of first. Geno Smith, I mean, he's gonna be the quarterback for Seattle. I'm telling you. We talked about it on this podcast. He plays smooth, he plays safe. That defense is young. I mean, they're making Denver look like a fool. Like
Yeah.
everybody was like,
Denver has a really good defense. That's all they have.
but everybody was like, even me. Why would you trade Russell Wilson? He's this great guy, and it just hasn't worked out yet. I mean, who knows if it will? It might. But I mean, Seahawks are thriving off it.
Listen. I mean, you listen to this just real quick, Ty. The Bills have the
Interest.
best defense in football as loud as points allowed with 13.5. Dallas is second with 14.9. The Broncos only allow 16.4 points per game. And look at their record. The Eagles, 17.3. The Buccaneers are only allowing 17.7 points per game, but they have no offense.
You can't tell me some of the best athletes in the world. That's where I think a large proponent of it is coaching. You gotta, whatever offense you want to run, you gotta let your talent freaking shine.
And look, you got to understand something too about Dak Prescott real quick. He's only played 3 quarters this year. You think about it. He's got hurt in the first game of the season, 3 quarters in. I mean, he hasn't played. And he didn't practice in the preseason. He didn't play in any of those games. So this was literally his first game.
The under hit. It would have been it was a 49. I should have taken that game.
Who, if we were on this podcast opening week, and I would have said to you, the Jets would be 5-2, technically tied with the Bills for first place, and the Dolphins and Patriots would be bottom 2. Who would have took that bet? Now the Jets could go on and lose the next 5 games, but I think with their defense and their defensive-minded coach, I think that they're going to be a pretty decent team to face. 5-2. If I'm a Jets fan, I won the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like how many times have we watched it's cool I'm only 26, 25, sorry. And I've never seen the Jets. Sure, there were a couple of times where the Jets were like competing a little bit. But the past 5 years, they've averaged 3 wins a year.
But not even that. Like I said to Noah the other day, I had this whole conversation. When was the last time you looked at the NFC East and saw 3 teams with a winning record?
Yeah, it was always the Patriots, and the Miami would put up a fight once in a while.
So they've beaten. I just took a glance at their record. They beaten the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the
Good teams.
Packers,
Good teams.
and the Broncos, the Dolphins. They crushed the Dolphins,
They
the
had
Steelers.
they
Like, look
played
at that
good
schedule.
teams.
Or
And
no,
that's
sorry,
it's
I think they lost to the Bengals.
it's not like they have just had these easy wins.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you could say all you want about those teams they played. We all have problems. All these teams have problems, but they played caliber teams.
Yes. Like that's
And-
no joke.
And it's not
And-
like Wilson is throwing 300 yet. He's getting the job done. Their running backs they lost Brees Hall to a torn ACL. Unfortunately, he's a rookie. They still
have
got
a
Carter
tough-
though in the backfield. They still got some good receivers. That team has a lot of talent, man.
And their
You know what's
schedule at the
crazy?
end of the year is fairly easy, but it's brutal coming up.
Mm.
You know, it's crazy. If you look at the NFC standings, there's only 5 teams, or is it 4? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with a record above 500.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. That's
That
how
is
close the
nuts.
NFC is.
That
That's how
is
close the NFC is.
nuts.
That gives me hope, baby. We're still in
Yeah.
this.
In theory, only
Really?
the Lions are still in it. The Lions are 1 and 5, and they're only technically 2 games out of the wild card.
Gross.
The Saints can still win the division, Ty. I mean, you're only one
Listen,
game out.
Listen, this
You're
is
only-
my
you're
thing.
only one
Everyone,
game
this
out.
is my thing, right? Ooh, to all people out there that might be a Saints fan, there's hope. There's hope, right? You watch these games, and I could cry every week. We put up 30 points a game and we lose. I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked.
You're the only team in the NFL to allow 200 points already this year.
Do you know that coming into that week, we were like ranked 6th or something in passing yards per
Yeah.
game,
You're ranked 5th for total
and
defense.
Andy Dalton puts up almost 400 passing yards and 4 touchdowns.
This gets into my question though, too, of which teams in the NFC, which teams in the AFC are going to miss the playoffs.
Well, last thing I'm going to say about the Saints here. All right.
Mhm.
Sure, we have injuries. That could be a key factor to the defense. We're missing all 3 of our cornerbacks. Excuses are excuses. You know, next man up. My thing, man, is the play calling for offense. You have a rookie wide receiver. His name's like Shaheed or something. I don't know off the top of my head. He's played 2 games. 1 play on the opening drive of each 2 games is a touchdown. Doesn't touch the ball the rest of the game. Doesn't touch the ball the rest of the game. They put Jason Hill in. He scores a touchdown. You don't see in the rest of the game. He could still be dealing with a rib injury. Not a clue. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I also went on a rant. Taysom Hill is 7-2 as a starting quarterback. Why not just throw him out there at this point until Winston gets healthy? Why not? The guy is literally a Lamar Jackson, but on steroids.
You know what? I'm gonna ask you guys a serious question. If your team has a losing record, and Ty, we went through this a couple years ago, Cowboys, remember? That's how we got Micah Parsons. If you have a losing record, but you make the playoffs, guess what? You fall to the bottom end of the first round.
Yeah.
Because you made the playoffs.
Mhm.
You know, the Eagles beat us that one year. They got in, we didn't get in, and we got a better. That's when we didn't get Mika. We got freaking CeeDee Lamb that year because we went ahead of the Eagles. If I have a bad record, I don't want to make the playoffs. What's one more game? I don't care about one more game.
See, here's my thing. I'm the type of fan where I could be 7-9, and I can see my team win the Super Bowl. Also, the Eagles have our first round pick. So if we suck, they get a top 5 pick. So I would prefer them not to get a top 5 pick. But the Saints have been almost at like every single good quarterback college game this year scouting. Don't know why we don't have a first round pick. Maybe we'll get one in the second round. I would like to see a healthy Winston before we put Taysom Hill in. Andy Dalton's not playing bad. I mean, we're putting up 30 points a game. Like I said, it's just, if we can get some of these, if we can get 2 of these cornerbacks to come back, I think like we could just start putting it there, but we just have so many injuries. It's a terrible excuse, but like you could just see it when you watch the game. Tackling is missing. These rookies aren't communicating well, but some of these rookies are playing well. You know, I mean, an offense that is putting up 30 points without our top 2 receivers, like that's got to give me a high. Like, oh my gosh, like could you imagine? They're saying Michael Thomas and Landry might come back this week. All I'm saying, man, is
what is wrong with Thomas and Jameis?
Turf toe for Thomas, and then Landry. The one game he got tackled backwards where his ankle kind of went under him and his back went the other way.
Yeah, I think I put the hex on the Lions because 2 weeks ago I said they're the highest scoring team in the NFL. And since then, they've only scored 6 points in the last 2 weeks. Well, 3 weeks they had a bye.
I mean, that Dallas defense is clearly legit. They've proven it all year. So they did exactly what they should have done.
We lead the league in sacks. We have 29 sacks, man. We're ahead of everybody. Micah Parsons has 7 sacks, leads the NFL in sacks already.
What is wrong? No, do we even need to talk about why, like, what's wrong with the Lions just as an organization, or is it?
They need defense, man. They need defensive help.
I mean, the offense definitely
Okay.
didn't play well this week, but I don't know what it is. I mean, Swift's injured, which is your top running back. Not saying Jamal Williams is playing back because he's playing
Oh,
pretty
true.
well. How about we didn't get to talk about this because we didn't pod last week. I was in PA. Christian McCaffrey gets dealt to the 49ers, which is the first big move by the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, they benefited from it, but I mean,
They
the running back
benefited from
market
it.
is ridiculous. Why would you give up a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth for a guy who doesn't even play?
Hey, breaking news. The Jaguars running back, James Robinson, the undrafted rookie that's been playing very well for them, just got traded to the Jets.
Oh, that's why he didn't play. That's why he didn't play
I
the
wonder,
other game.
I
Oh.
wonder if in that package they dealt that wide receiver from the Jets who wants to get traded.
Wow.
That's good pickup for them because they just lost Brees
Yeah.
Hall. Oh, Jets.
Wow, that's a huge. Somebody said they were going to be going after a running back, likely, but I did not check.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey, by the way, he had almost 40 yards rushing, and I believe he had 24 yards receiving. His presence was felt on the field. That team definitely is stronger with him, but Kansas City just is no joke.
This is
you know
too
what I mean?
much. That's too much.
How much did they get for him?
A second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth.
I mean, that's not.
Wow.
That's too much.
I'm okay with not giving a first for that though. You got to think about that. I mean, you
With-
got what
with
another year with
McCaffrey.
him, maybe.
I would not give up more than a third for a guy who was always injured every year. That's Mike Trout of the NFL. He's in street clothes more than anybody.
Hey, when
Not
he's
giving
healthy,
up all
though.
them picks. That is ridiculous. I am not giving up all them picks. Big deal. You know what? Shanahan is so good with running backs. They have had several running backs there that have been lights out. So they don't need to give all that for just one running back. That's ridiculous. That's dumb.
Very close.
We should have gave Zeke to him. We would have gave Zeke to him for a second and a fourth.
Well, Taylor Heineke got the start this week, goes 20 for 33, 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns as he beat Aaron Rodgers 23-21. Maybe Carson Wentz is done for the year. I don't know. I was always a big Taylor Heineke guy, but Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you guys saw that
I
play.
think
Did you guys
so.
see that last play of the game where they were lateral in it? And they were getting pretty close to the end zone. They were getting pretty far up there, and then it just never works out. But
No.
Packers, what are they? 3 and 4?
3 and 4.
Yeah, Ace. I mean, you hit it right on the coffin there. Is that the saying? Hit it right on the coffin. Hit it right on the nail. Coffin.
Nail.
I don't know what you're hitting. You might be putting a nail into the coffin, but I don't. If you're doing that, you're on the inside.
Hit it right on the
box.
head. I don't know. Hey, Aaron Jones though only had 8 attempts. Austin Dillon only had 4. I mean, like those. I mean, I've seen Aaron Rodgers talk about it multiple times when he addresses the press and he goes on the Pat McAfee show. He's like, we got to get these guys touches. They're our best guys. You're not going to do that with 8 carries with one of your best players in the game.
Not good.
I just don't see it.
I mean, they haven't had a losing record since 2006.
Their best receiver only got 50 yards receiving. I mean, and I know that they're one of the teams that are on the trade market to find a wide receiver for him. I mean,
The
I don't know why.
lineman, Bakhtiari, is not healthy. Something, they don't know what's wrong, but he's certainly not healthy. So the offensive line is just kind of out of whack because of it.
Just think of this, man. You got the Rams, the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Packers, and the Falcons all battling for wild card spots. That final wild card spot. No, I'm still saying the Saints are going to win that division. So you don't want to be in a wild card. You better catch up.
Hey,
what if the 49ers miss out? Wouldn't that be a flop with all that talent?
They lost 2 in a row. I mean, and
Is
their
it 2 in a row?
defense is good. Yeah, they lost 2 in a row. I mean, their defense is good, but
They play the Rams. Oh my God. They go from the Chiefs to the Rams to the chart. They have no easy games. Jeez.
and you look at the Giants schedule, they could very easily be 9-1 before their bye.
The Giants. Wow.
I mean, they have such an easy schedule coming up. And everyone is still saying, well, they're not legit. They're not legit. They're not legit. They're legit. I mean, they're a legit good team.
We'll see it. Yeah, we'll see it. Do you guys think the Colts benefit from benching Matt Ryan, even though he does have an injury, but they came out and said even if he wasn't injured, he was probably still going to be benched for the rest of it. He looks like a fresh baby deer out there when he's running. Like it just doesn't look pretty. I mean, he threw the ball for 44 times, only got 240 yards. and only 1 touchdown. Jonathan Taylor isn't. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Taylor. He got 10 carries. He's back. Only 50 yards rushing. I don't know what the answer is in Indianapolis. They've had some young receivers step up, but they definitely needed. We all knew going into the season they needed wide receiver help. Pittman Jr. is great. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is living up to the hype they were expecting him to live up to. That division's still open.
Too.
Yeah, that division's still open for them. But
and, you know, and T.Y. Hilton is still available. I mean,
yeah, but T.Y. Hilton's old.
What?
I mean,
so's Matt Ryan.
Yeah, they did. They wasted a lot of money on Ryan. That is not good.
That's why I stand by my saying, like, Dak Prescott's the next one. You know, he has 1 more year left before they can extend him again. I wouldn't pay that money for a freaking quarterback. I'm sorry. And look at Russell Wilson. Look what he's doing for Denver. Let's ride into the top 5.
What would you give Dak? What would you give? Yeah, let's ride. God, what a joke.
I mean,
I heard that in some stores they stopped selling the Subway his sandwich, but they said it was like because it was limited edition. I don't know how true that was.
I mean, look, I have some stats on Dak. Dak's the only quarterback to lead his team to 30 points a game as a starter over the last 2 seasons. He's their number 1 scoring offense last year. He's 13-0 in his career against bottom 5 scoring defenses. You know, he's got what is it? He set a record last year with 37 passing touchdowns. 37 passing touchdowns. You know, he's got 101.6 passer rating since last year. He's 3rd in the NFL in passer rating. I just don't know. I don't know what you give him because to me, I don't want to overvalue quarterbacks. I think it takes away from everything else on the field.
I would love for the Saints to offer Tony Romo a deal just to make you cry a little bit. I think Dak's a good quarterback. I think I just think his playoff resume has a lot of fans kind of like shook and not really sure what's next for him. I mean, we've seen some of the talented rosters you guys have had. Not dissing on the Dallas Cowboys, but I think
last year was the year, man.
I think when you have that talent and you're ranked as one of the best offenses, I think you at least have to get by the first round of the playoffs. It's been a while for Dallas. Again, I'm not dissing on Dallas. I'm just speaking real here. I think Dak is a good quarterback, but is he the quarterback to get you to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
I always said Dak's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I can put 9 other quarterbacks ahead of him.
With this defense, I think it's different.
Yeah, I do.
But maybe Kellen, they just got to be better at coaching. Like they got to be better game managers. They can't have stupid penalties. They seem to get penalties like the Vikings, where it's like, why are you getting an false start or something stupid?
Yeah, I say this all the time. Dak is a better quarterback up tempo. When they go no huddle and they rush, I've seen them go down the field consecutively in less than 4 plays. I mean, they can move the ball. Dak is smart when it comes to that. But Dak, for some reason, like on Sunday, he had guys wide open and he did not even see them open.
How was Noah Brown in the game? Did he get Noah Brown in the game, or was that just a Cooper Rush thing?
No, Noah Brown was in the game, but he's had that crucial fumble. He got upended and fumbled the ball.
Oh God, I saw that.
And we're getting James Washington back in like a week or 2. So I mean, he's gonna have weapons, but the thing is he's got to stop holding the ball so long. Ever since he got hurt, he does not move with his legs. And Dak can really move if he wants to. He doesn't. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll tell you this. If we had Dak Prescott, and this is a hot take. If we had Dak Prescott, I can guarantee you we beat the Eagles. The Eagles beat us by scoring 20 points in the second quarter because we gave them 2 interceptions and that stupid 3rd down play that we didn't review, and we went for it on 4th and 1, gave them the ball in our territory. The Eagles didn't do nothing after that. The Eagles did not do a damn thing after that. So we can beat the Eagles. I'm not worried about the Eagles. And it's going to be crucial that we do beat them next time because you don't want to give them a two-game edge. But the Eagles, they're a great team. They have a great defense. But I think with a good quarterback, we beat them.
Good hot take. Halloween weekend this week. So let's take some picks here as we get into the spooky time. Ravens versus Buccaneers. Ravens 4-3 heading into Tampa Bay, who is 3-4 and desperate for a win as Tom Brady's on the edge of life right now. It is Thursday night game too. Short week for Tampa Bay. Short week. Ravens coming off a win. I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah. Unless the Bucs get healthy, I can't touch that.
I'm going Tampa Bay. They had all the receivers back. Mike Evans dropped that freaking touchdown wide open.
They did. Yeah, he did. He got hurt. Looked like he got hurt at the end of the game.
So out of sync.
They don't look
good. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's a good. I might change my mind. What
Don't
day is
change
it?
your
It's
mind. We're
Monday.
sticking with the
It's
Ravens all
Monday
the way.
still. These are
Overreaction Monday. Hey, great, exciting
Fresh.
game at 9:30 a.m. in London. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 2-5, and
Of
the
course.
Denver Broncos, who are 2-5. Both teams looking for a win. Jacksonville started off the year 2-1, top 5 in rankings. They need a win. They need a win. I'm taking Jacksonville here. I don't know if Russell Wilson's coming back or not for this game, but I think Jacksonville's desperate for a win. And it's London. It's a home game for them.
I don't care. Jacksonville should win. I like the Jaguars. So
Jacksonville has a good coach now. They're improving. The quarterback's getting a lot better. They should have beat the Giants. I'm going Jacksonville. I mean, let's think about it. Denver's been on 12 different quarterbacks since Peyton Manning left, and there's going to be 13 because I think they're going to freaking let Mr. Let's ride right out of town because he's horrible.
It's looking like it, and it honestly doesn't seem like it's good in the locker room either. I don't know.
A couple of good games actually this week. We got the 49ers going to the Rams, 3-4. The 49ers 3-3. The Rams coming off a bye. I'm taking the 49ers. I feel like the 49ers own the Rams. 2 losses in a row. They got to bounce back. Christian McCaffrey going to get a full week of practice with the 49ers. Rams defense hasn't been great all year. I'm taking the 49ers.
Yeah,
who are the favorite right now?
If healthy, I got to take 49ers too. But hey, again, it's Monday. I can change my mind.
Overreaction.
McVay's going to flip that team. I'm going Rams. I'm going Rams.
Interesting. Giants who are
that run.
Giants who are 6-1 going into Seattle. Who's hot right now? 4-3. Seattle, the favorite right now.
Oh, at home, that makes sense. I could buy a point.
It's in Seattle.
It's in Seattle. I'm taking Seattle. Geno Smith, dude. I'm telling you, I do not believe the Giants are legit yet. I don't believe it. I think if you can stop Daniel Jones, you got it.
Take the over. I'll take the over on that game. They're not going to be.
I'm taking the Hawks. I'm taking the
Hawks.
Hawks.
I'll take the Hawks too. They can run the ball as long as they can run the ball.
They got a good running back. That young guy. I think it's Walker.
The Giants have a good defense, man. The only problem is Seahawks don't. The Seahawks don't have a defense.
That's a lie. It's a lie. Defense has been looking good lately. They're young too, and they're fast.
Their defense is not that good, Ty. They're allowing
I know it's not great
already.
but it's getting better.
The whole problem is Giants traveling east to west. I mean, that's a big thing. God, it's gonna pay me, but I'm going Giants.
East, where you going, East?
Seahawks. That East. Oh man, that's a tough call.
Stick with it. This is a big game here.
If I'm a good coach, we're flying out on a Tuesday. We're getting a hotel out there, and we're getting acclimated to the West Coast.
This should be a good game. Green Bay 3-4 heading into Buffalo, who's 5-1. Sunday night.
That's not going to be a good game.
Sunday night.
Oh my God!
Is Aaron Rodgers going to have a primetime game? Be like, you know what? I'm still Aaron Rodgers, baby. 2-time MVP in a row. I don't care who Buffalo is. Or is Buffalo going to be like, bro, you suck. I'm going to walk right over you. Josh Allen's going to do a little dry hump on the ground.
Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Double digits. Double digits. Buffalo.
I think Buffalo's the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and as long we already talked about Packers' uncertainties and crucial positions. So
yeah. Hey, let me ask you this: if the Eagles play Buffalo right now, who's winning?
Buffalo.
Look at these.
I think Buffalo can.
I think Buffalo too. I think Buffalo's. I know the Eagles are undefeated. You have to give them that. They're the best team in the NFL right now because they're undefeated. But I personally believe Buffalo is the best team in the NFL. Yeah. I think Kansas City and Buffalo both beat the Eagles.
They have better wide receivers. Come to think of it,
and Buffalo's defense is better than Dallas's. And Dallas shut down Goddard and shut down the receivers.
There's like 5. There's a very strong defenses this year, which is going to take teams far. So
yeah, we'll do our quick picks for our teams. Dallas is playing a 2-4 Bears. I'm taking Dallas all day on that. They're home. Bears are coming off a bye. I don't think the Bears are going to win. You all taking Dallas?
Dallas. This is like a preseason game, and then that goes into a bye week, so it's perfect timing for us.
Vikings are. You're taking Dallas, Ace?
Absolutely.
Vikings are 5-1, taking on the 3-4 Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, who, by the way, those black helmets are so nice. I'm taking the Cardinals all day. I just think the Vikings aren't ready for them.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding, Ace. I'm taking Minnesota. but I'm gonna predict. I think Minnesota's gonna start off slow, coming off a bye. I think they're gonna start off a little slow, but I think they're gonna win.
Same.
Saints
I
and
hope they start
Raiders.
off fast.
I'm going
but I have-
Minnesota.
Saints and Raiders. Raiders are 2-4. Saints are 2-5. It's in the dome. Both teams looking to get back on track here. I think the Saints win if they get some of their big players back. If they don't get anyone back, I'm taking the Raiders. Wow, first time I'm not taking the Saints. Wow, hurts me to say that. But I think if the Saints get two of their defensive players back and they get Michael Thomas back, where they're hoping to expect him to come back this week, I think that the Saints are taking this game.
I agree.
I'm going Raiders. Going Raiders. There's too many unknowns with the Saints defense.
I know.
I'm going Raiders. The Raiders are turning it on right now. They're turning it around, and it's a perfect time for them. So, Chargers are sinking. So I think the Raiders are putting it together. So, this game's important for the Raiders.
Well, we want to congratulate the Philadelphia Phillies for making it to the World Series. Harper, Hoskins, Kyle Schwarber. I mean, they got it all. Gene Segura makes like 2 errors, then he hits the ball, literally throwing the bat out and gets a run in. Like, I just don't understand it. Congratulations.
The best fans too, man. They get the best fans.
The fan atmosphere was all of it. We're not necessarily going to dive deep into the Phillies because we just screw Philly. You know what? We're not big Phillies fans, but hey, it's where we're from.
I'm rooting for Phillies all day. I'm
the biggest Philly fan. Hey, what a time to be a Philly
Bryce
fan.
Harper.
What a time to be a Philly fan. Eagles are undefeated. Your Phillies are going to the World Series. Sixers may be 0-3, but James Harden looks good for once.
Flyers are in second place.
Complain more. They'll still complain.
Like the fact that they beat the crap out of the Padres, who were hot all playoffs. I mean, good for them. I hope they win it all. I really do. Bryce Harper, I love. There is something different about playoff atmosphere. When someone hits a go-ahead home run, the crowd is like never that loud. Like it's goosebumps every time. Every time. Congratulations, Phillies. We're gonna dive into the Yankees because the Yankees suck. Yankees got swept by the Astros. They couldn't. There were a couple games, and I know stat guy over there has all the stats. There were a couple games the Yankees had the lead. Simple errors. Like last night, Yankees were winning by 2 runs. Simple double play ball. Threw it away. 2-run score. Bada bing, bada boom. You can't let the Astros in playoffs come back. What I'll say, and I'll let you dive into it, Dad, is at the end of the day, like I said, stat-wise, we didn't hit well. We had a couple guys that were hot, like Harrison Bader. I'm full on for that trade. He carried us. He was one of the guys that carried us throughout playoffs. I love the energy he brings. He's fast. He can hit homers from Bronx. Like, I love the story. In my opinion, pitching didn't do too bad. Garrett Cole, we talked about it. Gives it the big home run, then pitches great afterwards. But you can't do that. You need to be. You just. I don't. Nestor Cortez.
You can't do that when you don't score runs.
Nestor Cortez, I think, screwed us a little bit last night. Probably didn't want to come out of the game with his injury, but it happened. He let up some runs. We had some errors. I hope Judge stays. I do. I think the Dodgers and the Giants, I think, are going to push hard. I think that certain guys need to go. I think the young guys need to come up, and you need to keep them up. We talked about that off the podcast, Dad, how those guys should have stayed in the lineup. We still have Andrew Benintendi. Actually, I think he might be a free agent. But Harrison Bader, Aaron Judge, and Cabrera, like solid outfield for next year if we have those guys. But I will let you take it over because I know you have plenty of stats and you're going to run it wild.
You got to applaud. I mean, the Astros. I mean, they are headed back to their 4th World Series in 6 years.
6 years, crazy.
They're 7-0 in the postseason. You know, the great George Steinbrenner once said, "The importance of winning ranks below only that of breathing." And this new Steinbrenner regime, they're a bunch of little. They don't want to spend, and that's unfortunate because you know what? I said this all season, and you guys heckled me and said, "I'm just a hater." I'm not. The Yankees ran out of gas, and that is the problem when you have power hitters. And Judge, 6'7", that's a lot of wear and tear on his body. You don't have clutch hitters like a DJ LeMahieu and all these guys. We ran out of gas. I mean, we were 6 for 25 with batters left on base. We didn't drive in runs. I mean, 25 batters left on base, and you go 6 for 25 with runners in scoring position. That's not getting the job done. You know, guys like Judge, his average was 170. I mean, the team batted 173 with 103 strikeouts in 2 series, 50 of them against the Astros. A 37.4 strikeout percentage. That's horrible.
I feel bad for Judge, though, because he carried us all season, but I think he tried to do too much in the playoffs to help us.
Yeah, but the problem with Judge is this is Judge's postseason career stats. 216 batting average in 43 games, 13 home runs, a 786 OPS is well below his regular season 977. Legends are made it in the postseason. Judge is not. They're going to look at him as being another A-Rod. And that's unfortunate because you're right. He carried us all season. But if you look at the Yankee season, look at all the come from behind wins that we had. This team was 38-40 in the second half of the season. That's the true Yankees. That's the true Yankees.
I kind of agree with Ty though too. I think he pressed a little, but sorry.
Yep. They said it all week. They said he was trying to be the hero, but we needed other guys to step up. I mean, he stepped up all year.
But I think he knew that, like, okay, Twins, I'm so glad you guys took Donaldson.
Hey, here's my thing about Donaldson.
Like,
I will give Donaldson a round of applause. He played amazing defense for us all year, but the hitting is not good enough. I think we owe him a lot of money, I think. So I don't know if they get rid of him. I would like to get rid of him maybe, but his defense was great all year for us.
Look, we have one World Series appearance and since what, in 22 years? We're the first team to lose 5 straight ALCSs. You know,
all it's the Astros.
We're not going to get done. The Yankees are 0-13 since George died. No World Series appearances. Got swept 2 times in the ALCS. That's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And this is the key thing.
Shifted to Houston.
The Yankees. This is what I'm talking about. This is the difference between George Steinbrenner and the kids. The Yankees had the highest payroll annually between 2000 and 2013. They occupied that one time since the kids taken over, and that was in 2014. Last off season, Judge's representatives said they would take a deal for $36 million annually. The Yankees dropped the ball on that. They didn't. They came up cheap on him. You know, he said he would take an 8 to 9 year deal. They didn't do it. The price just went up. And the Giants, who is Judge's childhood favorite team and has the deepest pockets right now in baseball, and the Dodgers are already said they're all into getting him.
Yeah, I really would cry if the Dodgers are that team that they would give him the money.
Listen to this.
Yeah, he's
the last time the Yankees lost a homegrown player was in 2013, 2014 when they lost Cano to Seattle because they outbid them. Okay? That year,
he also wanted money that nobody was getting yet, which was crazy.
But listen, that year, the Yankees went on a spending spree. They brought in Tanaka, Ellsbury, Carlos Beltran, and Brian McCann. They spent a combined $438 million on future salaries. None of that brought in the Yankees a title. It's just, I don't know, man.
Who would you get rid of this year, this offseason?
Me? Yeah. Hicks is gone. Donaldson's gone.
Yep.
I would move IKF to third. I would bring up our the thing that aggravates me on the Yankees is they brought up all this young talent that got them hot the last 2 weeks of the season when they played Toronto and they played Tampa Bay. And as soon as the playoffs started, what did they do? They pushed those kids to the side. They brought Matt Carpenter back, who hasn't seen live pitching since the end of beginning of August. They bring him in against the best freaking pitching staff in baseball, and he looks like trash. They brought Hicks back for Cleveland. He gets injured. I mean, it's a joke.
And I don't want to say this because I don't want to come into motion, but if we do lose Judge, I feel like we're okay. I mean, you got Bader.
We are.
You got Cabrera, and you still have Flores, who they have not really given a chance to flourish in the outfield. We have a solid infield, right? Even if you don't move IKF to third, you could put DJ there and keep Rizzo, because Rizzo has been fine. 31 home runs this year. Like, Rizzo hasn't been bad for us. There's so much talent that the Yankees need to do something with it. Yeah. But I agree. I think Donaldson needs to go. He did not hit well all year.
Still too.
Rizzo, especially with Yankees right field porch.
Yep.
Look, this is the problem I have. Historically in baseball, when players get to around the age of 31, that's when the athletic performance begins to drop. Harper was 26 when he signed his 13-year deal. Machado was 26 when he signed his 10-year, $300 million deal. Trout was 29 when he got his 12-year, $426 million deal.
Yeah.
If I'm the Yankees, and I've been saying this for how many weeks, I would be doing a short-term deal, a Max Scherzer deal, $43 million a year for 3 or 4 years. That's it. Making the highest-paid player in baseball right now. That's not going to last.
I don't think he wants that, but I think I don't think
make it all guaranteed.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you. I would do the same exact thing.
And I'm not saying that money isn't a lot of money, but I think these guys want these big contracts so that they're just set for life. Their kids are set.
And that's great. But look what happened. I mean, Ellsbury's deal, it came back to bite us in the ass.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, Stanton's deal. If I had to pick between Judge and Stanton, I'm keeping Judge. Stanton can go. I mean, he's useless to us besides he plays DH every now and then.
He's not great in the outfield. He's
The
not great in the
Twins-
outfield.
So picture this. The Twins signed Buxton 7 years, $100 million, right? They got him basically on a freaking pitch count or like a time. You know how basketball players take time off or whatever, superstars, they basically do that to him. So he, like a catcher, you don't really catch all 3 games sometimes, maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Here's 3 players. Look, I would get rid of Trevino and Higgy. I'll get rid of Stan.
But here's my thing. Why would you get rid of Trevino?
But listen to me. This is what I'll do. And I'll get rid of Donaldson. Yankees possible pickups. Catcher Wilson Contreras for the Mets. And he played 113 games this year. He had 22 home runs. He batted .243. The best OPS this side of JT Realmuto.
Yeah, but his defense was bad though. They didn't. People wanted to trade for him and not make him a catcher. They wanted to make him strictly a DH because his defense was bad.
I would still make him a catcher. I wouldn't care. Edwin Diaz, the Mets, 62 innings pitched, 34 hits,
Get
3
those
home runs
trumpets out.
allowed, 118 Ks,
Electric.
18 balls, 1.31 ERA. Struck out 40.3% of the batters faced in his career.
Wait,
Carlos
he's a free
Run-
agent?
Yeah, he's a free
Yeah.
agent. I don't think the Mets are going to
Carlos-
afford him.
Carlos Rondon, another one.
I want him.
178 innings pitched.
Twins want him.
131 hits. Yeah, 12 home runs allowed, 237 Ks, 52 base on balls, 2.88 ERA. League best rate of 12 Ks per 9 innings. Those are the guys I want. You know what's going to happen though? The Yankees are going to go for a Trey Turner or someone stupid that we don't need.
No, I mean Trey Turner's a good ball player. We don't need him. My thing with Trevino, and I know we're in group chats where certain people don't like Trevino. Trevino has never played this many games in his life. I mean, we barely put Higgy in. I mean, he was batting great almost all year. I mean, look at all the walk-offs he had. I mean, he just, what's the word look for? He got not exhausted, but he what's the word look for? Towards the end of the year, he
Fatigue.
Yeah, but there's another
Blamed
word.
out.
Yeah, he got
lame duck.
he just
He
ran out of energy.
he batted .070 in the playoffs time.
I
mean,
know the whole team did though. What I'm saying is Trevino was not a bad catcher for us.
You know what? You guys bash IKF. He batted .314 up to
Who
the last
bashed?
game of the playoffs.
I stuck up for IKF.
Not you, but I'm saying him and Bader were our 2 best hitters on the team.
Everybody bashed IKF for some reason, but yeah, I get it. He had his struggles in the infield, but IKF was a consistent contact hitter for us, though.
He's also a Gold Glove finalist. I mean, the guy's amazing. I'd keep him. I'd put him at third base, and I'd bring up that young kid and play him as short.
I think there's only certain guys we need to get rid of. Hicks, Donaldson are definitely 2 guys that we don't need back. You bring up some of this young talent. I think you get rid of Higgy and you
get
keep
out
Trevino.
of that Stanton. Get out of that freaking Stanton contract somehow, some way.
Yeah. And let's just see where we go from there. I think we could always use some more pitching.
The bullpen was by Talione's a free agent. I'll let him walk. His ERA was over almost 7 in the playoffs. Let him walk.
Yeah, but I love Bader. Bader reminds me of like a Brett Gardner, someone that's fast that can steal some bases. I love the energy that he brought. But it's gonna be an interesting offseason.
You know what's funny too, and that's
he's from there too.
Yeah,
the Yankees seem to get away from what got them there. You know, they got away from the excitement.
We talked about it all year.
You didn't see them doing half the things they were doing back during the season.
I didn't see one stolen base besides a wild pitch.
I said they wouldn't make it past the first round of the playoffs. They got lucky. They won Game 5, but they didn't win another game after that. So in a way, I was kind of right. They just gave us 4 games of nothing. And the Yankees, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I said it way back when, they have issues, man. And the problem is everybody sees these big names and what they did when they were younger, but these aren't the same players anymore. Rizzo had a great year, don't get me wrong. But some of these guys, you got to let them go, man. And Cole, I'm sorry, I would let Cole walk. I don't care what anyone else says on this podcast or who listens to it. Cole is overpaid. That guy does not perform in the playoffs. He gives up too many home runs. What do you have, like 38 home runs this year? He led the American League in home runs. You got to go. I'm sorry. Wow. You don't get that much money to do that.
You keeping Rizzo or no? After the veteran appearance he brings and 31 home runs, you keeping him or no?
Rizzo, I'm keeping.
Okay.
Rizzo, I'm keeping.
Just trying to be on the same page. I like Rizzo at first base. Still got a good glove.
Like Rizzo.
His batting average might not be the highest, but with right field being small, he can still get us good runs.
I'm sorry. I'd trade Cole and I'd go all in for some better pitching. And Sevy's another one. Sevy doesn't stay healthy, and he struggled in the postseason too. I mean, but he doesn't get the offensive help. And Cortez, you had your great year, but guess what? Now you're going to the bullpen. I'm sorry, you're not a starter.
Talk to
why?
Verlander.
Whoa!
Talk to Justin Verlander.
What happened with Cortez? You want to put him in the bullpen?
Because I just don't think you'll get that consecutive years. You
got to find out though.
But I think the whole nasty Nestor thing was nice and cute and everything like that. But I just don't think it. There's always a time to move on. You got what you got from him, and it's time to move on. Move him to the bullpen or something. Make him a long reliever. But another thing too is our bullpen was short staffed. I mean, we had a lot of guys that got injured, and just another one. Zach Britton, gotta go. Get him out of here. He's horrible.
Yeah, take the diet of Justin Verlander, whatever he's doing.
Yeah,
he'll never come to the Yankees, but I would definitely sign him to a 1-year deal, like $25 million or something like that. He'll never come.
Well, we are minutes away from Monday Night Football, where the Bears are taking on the Patriots. Should be sounds like you farted. Should be a great game, right? But hey, like we say every week, like we say every week, we're not experts. Take what you want. In our opinions, we're the best experts you can ever listen to. But hey, we love it. We love doing this podcast. At the end of the day, let's ride like Russell Wilson.
No, let's not say that. We're going to lose fans.
Yes, please don't.
Hey, but we hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. Continue to share the support on all our platforms. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.